So yeah, that can go there, and that can like twirl, and that'd be like really cool. So, and this can go like up here, and this can like flip. It's gonna like flip the other bots. That's really cool. Okay, so we gotta get that secure on there. Yeah, that's good. And then we add the knife. Yes. Oh, hey everyone. Sorry, I'm just getting my Destructo bot ready here because I am entering it into the local fair, into the new Destructo tournament where everybody builds a little bot and they just destroy each other. Yes. But sometimes, you know, we don't have all the technology. We don't have everything that we need. So why don't we play this in a board game form first? So let's play Deathbot Derby. In Deathbot Derby, you are first building a Deathbot of your own and then trying to destroy your opponent's bot that they have built. So, of course, you're going to have the 4 different Deathbots. So you can play this as a 2-player game, or you can play it as a 4-player game on 2-player teams. So everybody will select their color, then you go ahead and you start building the arena. Once the arena has been built, then you're going to go ahead and start building your bot. Every player will also get one of these hazard cards that they can smash that button 4 times during the game to try to change up the arena and try to mix up how stuff is laid out. Once everybody has picked the color of the bot that they want to control, in my opinion, you hand the deck to the person who was worst at shuffling, because you want to shuffle these cards as crazily as possible. So you want to shuffle them, you want to flip them, you want to turn them around, you want to do whatever you can to mix up all of these cards. And actually, one of the best ways to mix up these cards is just stick them on the table and shuffle them about every once in a while, grabbing a big stack of them and then flipping them over, because you want these all to be every which way. Once you have got all of the cards all set up, you're going to set up the arena. So the arena is going to be a 5x6 area using all 30 of the cards. Once the arena has been fully built, you're going to take your color robot meeple and you're going to stick it in one of the corners of the arena, and then your opponent is going to stick theirs in the opposite corner on their side of the board. Now, if there's some kind of obstacle in the way where you're trying to place your meeple, for example, if my opponent had placed his on this corner over here, well, there's a bomb right there and I can't place mine there. So what you do is you flip over the card and then you're able to place it there. But since we're able to do these opposite corners, that is how we're going to start the game. Then you will take your player card and you will place it on your side with the highest number pointing up, which is 4 for both players. Then we will go ahead and start building out our robots. Now, to build out your robot, whoever is the first player, so according to the rules, whoever is the person who has last touched a remote control is the first player. They're going to go ahead and grab this movement stack, and this will determine the speed of your bot. And they're going to draw the top 3 cards from this deck, and they're going to look at them, pick one, place it on their side, and then hand these to their opponent, and their opponent's going to look through these and then pick one for themselves. Then the second player is going to do the same thing with the ranged cards. They're going to draw the top 3, choose one, hand the 2 to the other player, and they will choose a card. With the melee weapons, the second player goes again, and then with the secret weapons, the first player then takes the first opportunity to draft. Now, in the instruction booklet, to start off, there are some suggested parts, and I'm going to go ahead and do those rather than actually drafting up a new robot. So, the green player is actually going to be playing with some mech legs. and this will give him 5 speed, and while these mech legs are active, they won't trigger any bombs. Next up, their range weapon is going to be a rocket launcher. The rocket launcher has a range of 4 and can do 2 damage, but the rocket launcher can only be used once per turn. Then, as their melee weapon, they have a chainsaw. So it does 1 damage from 1 range, and it can bypass armor. And then they also have a secret weapon that I'll show you a little bit later. Then the blue player, their speed is 3. They are immune to buzzsaws, which are a thing that is out in the arena. And they get +1 damage to a working melee weapon. Their ranged weapon is a machine gun. It has a range of 6, but only does 1 damage. Their melee weapon is a taser, which is 1 damage from 1 range, and it can only be used once per turn. And if you do hit your opponent with this, your enemy has 1 less action on their next turn. And of course, they have a secret weapon as well. So now let me tell you about what is in the arena and what are the obstacles that you could possibly be hitting. If you look at the back of your one card here, which is your hazard card, it'll tell you all the different things that are in the arena, stuff that could give you an issue. So, for example, we have walls. And of course, you cannot drive through a wall. And also, if your bot is behind a wall, well, you can't be shot because that will block any kind of sight lines to you. There are buzzsaws. If you drive over a buzzsaw, guess what? You're going to take 1 damage to your movement. Bombs, well, if you drive over that, that'll give you 1 damage, but once you explode a bomb, you flip over the card, and that bomb is gone. And lastly, there are some power-ups. If you happen to drive over a power-up, you get to heal 1 damage. So on your turn, what you get to do is you get to move up to your full speed, or you can attack, and you have 2 actions. So if you wanted to, you can move, you can attack, or you can move and attack in whichever order you wanted to. So let's just say green player is first, so I'm going to go ahead and start moving towards my opponent so I can destroy them. So the green player can move 5 spaces, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So didn't drive over anything crazy, nothing happened. I am not in range to be able to attack my opponent, who's still way over there. So I can move again if I wanted to. One of the arena pieces I forgot to mention, actually, were these speed tracks. So if you drive over them in the direction of the arrows, you're going to get +1 to your speed. I don't know how I forgot that one. So I can try to get closer if I want to. I'm going to go 1, 2. Now these tracks are going in the opposite direction of what I'm going for, so I don't get the extra speed. But I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to stay right there. Because I know my opponent has a machine gun that has a range of 6, and I don't want to get too close to them, so that way they can't start shooting me on their first turn. So, there's a lot of open space on this side of the arena. And you know what? I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable right here, even though I'm really close to a heal spot. But as a free action, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to smash this button here on my hazard card. So I will turn my hazard card, showing that I have 3 uses left of that. And then I'm going to roll this die. Whatever number comes up are cards I'm going to flip over. So, rolling that up, and I rolled a 2. So we're going to look for any 2, and any 2 is going to flip over. So usually I just go row by row, and we're going to flip over any of these 2s. So if they have something on one side, when you flip them over, they're kind of nothing on the other side. And if they're already a side that is plain on both sides, well, they're going to have something on the other side. Looking here, all of the 2s have been done now, so I have a bomb in front of me. It wasn't quite as much as I wanted, but hey, it was something that I could do. So now my opponent will take their turn. Let's just see how close they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, they can hit me with their machine gun. So that's what they're going to do. Brap! They're going to use their machine gun to attack me. Now, whenever you attack an opponent, the first thing you're going to attack is their armor, which is on your main card. Once somebody's armor has been completely disabled, that's when you can start attacking the other components of them. So he goes and he attacks my armor, which is now down to 3. And he can attack me again if he wants to, but he's going to try to move up to get into a better position because he really wants to use that laser. That laser is actually, or that taser, excuse me, the taser is actually going to do some pretty cool stuff where it prevents me from using both of my actions. So, using his tank tread, he's going to go 1, 2, and 3. So, you will continue chasing each other around this arena using your hazard card to try to manipulate the arena. And when you use your hazard card, if you ever roll a 1, you get to choose the number of what you want to flip over. And if you ever flip over a card, so let's just say my guy was on this card right here, and it flipped over, and a hazard appeared underneath my guy's going to take 1 damage and then move off in the direction that I choose. So you'll attack their armor first, completely disabling their armor, and then you will attack their other components. Now, once your movement card has been fully attacked, you're still going to have 1 speed of movement. So you're not completely dead in the water. You can still crawl along at a dead pace. Also, if your melee weapon gets destroyed, instead of doing the regular damage, it's just going to do 1 damage but no special effects. Because yes, if you disable my chainsaw, guess what? I can still beat you with it, even though it's not going to do any of the fun extra stuff. Now, I mentioned that there are secret weapons. Secret weapons in the game will have a one-time use. You will declare, I am going to use my secret weapon, and you'll flip it over and tell everybody what it is. For example, the green player here had thrusters. So with the thrusters, they'll get to take a free movement action, which will be really good, especially if your movement's already disabled. It'll try to help you get away from your opponent. The blue player, if they wanted to reveal their secret weapon, they have a net gun, which has a range of 5, and then the enemy cannot move for a round. So that is very interesting. There are lots of different secret weapons and different types of movement cards and range cards and melee weapons. So that is Deathbot Derby.
Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Pull up a chair at punchboardmedia.com.
So that is Deathbot Derby. Deathbot Derby is a great representation of those Deathbot cage match things that used to be on TV. It's really cool, especially with that hazard card. You can smash that button, roll that die, and that really represents, you know, stuff popping up out of the ground and stuff moving around, those walls going up and down, those buzzsaws coming out, and you never know what's going to come out because I didn't keep track when I was playing of what was underneath what card, so I would roll that die and be like, oh, I flip over something, and oh, I just damaged myself because I forgot that there was a wall underneath the card that my current bot was on. And building out the bots is actually really, really fun as well. So you get to draft those, and you get to have this unique bot every single time you play the game. And of course, when the arena comes out, originally, it's a unique layout almost every time you play the game. There's a ton of possibilities with how the arena gets laid out and where stuff is, and of course rolling that die when the stuff moves and flips over and everything like that. And I didn't play as 4 players, but you can play, as I said, 4 players on teams. So you're trying to work together with your teammate, but you might roll that die and mess up the arena, and you might end up damaging your opponent or damaging your partner when you're trying to be damaging your opponent. So it's just a lot of chaos and destruction, and all you need is the actual smell of like gasoline and burning mechanical parts and everything. It is a fantastic game. I really like it, and plus I like having a small game that I can pack up with me and throw on the table for 2 players. It doesn't take up a ton of space. The arena's a little bit big, but it'll fit on any decent sized table. So you can play out a game, and games tend to go very, very quickly. So you could even get a crowd of people around, and maybe if all of your friends are into it, you can start chanting along with the certain robots. It's actually really cool. You can give your robot a name, or there's actually little names on the tops of the cards, so you can just go with the name that is randomly generated with whatever you build your bot with, or you can give your bot a fun name and just go on all out and play this really cool card game. So if Deathbot Derby looks like something you'd be interested in, down below I'm going to have a link to where you can purchase it. Or if you are watching this video right when it goes up or within the week that it goes up, I am actually giving away a copy of Deathbot Derby in a little promotion with Punchboard Media, who is now the media group that, of course, Cloak and Meeple is part of. So if you want to win that, just go to my Facebook page, and there's going to be a giveaway picture. On that picture, there'll be instructions about how you go ahead and try to enter to win a copy of Deathbot Derby for yourself. And, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and help support Cloak and Meeple. On the next screen, you can go onto my Patreon and help support me that way. Also, you can click on the subscribe button to subscribe here, and also down below there is that bell so that you'll be notified whenever there's a new video up. And thanks for watching.